I'm nervous as I don't know what, because I know there's so much to say and so little time to really say it in. And, but I wrote myself a few notes to kind of keep me on focus in doing that. And so, this is what I want to share with you, what Ujima is. Ujima is the third principle of Kwanzaa, the third day, and it means collective work and responsibility. And that, for me, kind of describes some of the work that we've been doing here at the Erie branch of the NAACP. I think that in order to talk, we're in a particular space and time right now. There's nothing any more critical to both our national agenda and our local agenda than the national elections that are going to be in April and November of this year. And then the local NAACP is going to elect, hopefully, new leadership next November. And so I see both of those things as our forward look. And in order to be able to articulate a vision to you about where we're going from here, which was one of Dr. Martin Luther King's famous speeches and letters that he wrote, you have to know where you came from. And so I want to give you a little background about NAACP since I've had the good fortune of leading it. I would say I've grown up in the NAACP, always been a member, my family, my parents and all of that. I ran for the presidency twice and I got slaughtered. The first time by Sid Booker and the second time by Bishop or Reverend Brock at that time. And so I had given up hopes that any day. I served as a vice president under Greg Myers, and I served as political action chairman. I worked just all my life in college and any community I've been. But when I ran, I lost, okay? And then one night, as we approached 2018, our 100th year, our organization, our chapter here, was on the brink of not just collapsing, but going out of existence. The national threatened to take us over, the state threatened it. We didn't have a president. We were out of compliance. We didn't have enough members. We didn't have any records in that. We had no office, no phone in that, not enough members. And then one night here in this very room, no one would take the leadership. And the national told us if we didn't do it on that particular night, we were done. And so only God could lift my hand and allow me to do something that I had sought twice and was rejected by the membership in doing that. And so I was selected because no one else wanted it to be the president of this branch. And my first job was Ujima, recognizing that the work of the NAACP is collective work. It's collective responsibility. Because my dad often told us that a disarmed soldier cannot fight. How can you fight this battle of injustice and the work of the civil rights without soldiers, without members, without people who are willing to do it? And that, so the first thing I had to do was to get members, and that to become into compliance. We had to get 50 members, and that, so we were able to go into the hundreds. Today we have 89 members. Before we leave here tonight, I hope 11 of you will join, that we can have 100 members. And any of you young people that want to join, we'll buy your membership. And that we have a Carver Youth Council that's historical. My sister Cheryl, my friend Ida Page, they both have been members of it in the original founding of the Carver Youth Council and that. So young people, we do this work to benefit you, so you don't have to do this work in the future. This work that we do has come with great sacrifice. Even I get death threats, getting hate mail, and that from people who don't like the work that we do. And so the first challenge I had to do was to get the membership in compliance. We had no money, no office, no phone. Today I can tell you we have an office, we have a phone, we have 89 members, we got money in the bank, and I want you to pray that we can put together a good application for November to bring the state conference to Erie, Pennsylvania. Right now, they've got one application from someone to host it next November. And I'm gonna scuffle over the next couple of weeks and meet their deadline and try to put an application in for us. But in order to go forward, you have to know where you came from. I'm happy to have picked up my brother Andre, who had been a previous NAACP president, some of his agenda. And that Andre ran, we know, he quit the presidency of the NAACP to run for Erie County Council. And today he still stands as the only black ever elected to county government. And we've seen how if one voice can change a room, as Barack Obama said, it can change a city. And we've seen how Andre's one voice has changed this county. And so what we've been able to do is to register people to vote consistently and get people out to vote. And you can just look and see at the women and the minorities who are in office today as a result of the work that this organization has done. Making phone calls, passing out literature, hiring kids to help us get people out to vote on election day. And that nonpartisan work, every elected official that's a female or a minority has benefited from that kind of work that we've done. And in Andre's case, he won by 10 votes. And he won them right over at the John F. Kennedy Center. And if that does not prove how every vote counts, and that I don't know what else we can do. He's been elected the last 2 terms with no opponent. No opponent. He was able to articulate or push for the anti-hate or discrimination legislation that the county has. And so I embraced my brother's agenda. And some of the things we won, some of the things we didn't do so good. If you remember the community college, we wouldn't have a community college today if it wasn't the work of the NAACP. Because there were people who wanted to compromise. There were people who wanted to quit. The state had not authorized a new community college in 29 years. In 44 years, this city has been trying to get a community college. The importance of a community college is that it provides low-cost access to low-cost quality education for poor people, for people who cannot afford to pay $60,000 to go to Gannon, or $65,000 to go to Mercyhurst, or $25,000 to go to Barron. And that you can go to the Erie County Community College today and take classes for free. For classes for free because of the work that we did. We did letters to the editor. We wrote the governor. We went to Harrisburg. We challenged the people. We put our face on the need of a community college. And so we have a community college today because of that. I want you to keep that in mind as we move forward. Because the NAACP, those of you who allow me to speak for you, we believe the community college owes us something. They owe our community something. And we want the communities college to put their impression on the east side of Erie. And that where we have 50% of the people who live in this neighborhood are 18 years old and under. And that when you look at those kids don't live in homes by themselves, they live in them homes by single parent women. And so when you combine those two numbers, if anybody could benefit from the training or the learning that a community college provides, they can. And we don't need to take them all the way on the other side of town, outside of Erie, to access it when we have places in our own community that are viable enough for them to bring that education here. And so I'm asking all our members and all of our friends to stand with the NAACP as we challenge the community college to deliver on that thing that we help them, that we help provide for the people of this community, to bring access to low-cost, quality, higher education to our neighborhood. We didn't do so well on trying to get the mayor and the city council to adopt a citizens review board and an oversight committee to police the police. because we didn't think the police should police themselves. And so we haven't accomplished that. A community benefit agreement. We believe that all development should be equitable. If you're building, you using our tax dollar, and you're building downtown or any part of this community, we believe that people of color, women and young people and new Americans have a right to have an opportunity to work on those projects. We think development should be equitable and fair, and we've accomplished a couple of nibbles with that, but that's something that's still on our agenda to accomplish. I spoke about the impact that we've had on elections, the people that have benefited from our turning out to vote, and then what I want to say next is that, and why I think NAACP and Ujima epitomizes what we do. Our success has come from collective work and collective responsibility. We have aligned with so many people. They've told us that the black people don't work together. The people that we're divided. And so we started saying, say it to our face. Tell us who you're talking to. Because the NAACP has worked with just about every group in this town. They worked with the Minority Community Investment Committee. We sued the Under Earth Justice, we sued PennDOT to make the highway fair or safer, to give us jobs on it. We worked with Safe Water. We worked with the Benedictines, the Sisters of Mercy, the Jehoshaphites. We work with the neighborhood centers. We help prevent COVID from wrecking our community by providing access to education and vaccinations when COVID overcame us. We work with the African American Concerned Clergy, and I mean, you just name them. If anybody can say that we don't work with them, I want to see who they are, so that we can go and reach out to them, and so that we can do that work. That is what it takes for us to regain our credibility and to be successful in this community. We worked to get the $10 million original set aside for the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. And that we worked to get ARP funds from the school district and from the city and from the county. Access the dollars, our own tax dollars. We beat back the position that they say, why are you coming and asking us for money? It's our money, folks. The taxes that we pay, the things that they build, the things that they do is a part of our money also. This community and the people we represent need someone, some organization that's willing to stand up and say those things and do those things and bring organizations together. That's the work that we have done under this organization since it was hoisted on myself. I'm not complaining at all. It's been a privilege to me and an honor. And number one, to make those collaborations and those alliances. And that when you look at some of the successful projects in our community today, we've been right there in the middle of making them happen. And so, folks, in closing, I want to share with you a part of going forward. Number one, NAACP memberships. We need members. We need members. If you need help, we have a member who's 101 years old. 101 years old. We have organizations who don't know they're life members in our organization. I'm a life member. My sister Denise is a life member. And the Erie Insurance is a life member. UPMC is a life member. Martin Luther King Center they're life corporate members in that, but they don't make up 50 of them to keep us in compliance in that. So we want to focus on building memberships, voter registration, and vote by mail. And that those are things that are going to help us in the national election, save our democracy. People must vote. This organization and our allies have sacrificed too much, paid too heavy a price to give us the right to vote. For people who can vote to sit at home and don't vote in that. And we have too much and too important work to do to argue with those people who don't want to do it. Our goal is to expand and to go after younger people and newer people, and the people who really still would embrace the fact that our democracy is something we're fighting for. And so I want to pass off the baton of the leadership of this organization next November. We have an important election this year too. But in order to run for any office in this organization, you have to be a member by April. By April. You can't come walk in one day and say, I want to head it. I want to lead this. I want to lead that. No, you got to be a member by April. And then we have to do something in September in order for you to be able to vote in the election on November. I'm 71 years old. It's time for new blood, a new face in that. I want to help in that. I believe I have still a lot to contribute, but I believe I've done what the Lord challenged me to do, and that was get this organization back. I want to, on January 15th, this organization is calling all youth. Every young person in here, 18 and under, stand up. 18 and under, stand up. Let me see who you are. Okay, keep standing. I'm challenging you to come walk with the NAACP at the Martin Luther King March on Monday, on the holiday, on Monday, January 15th. We want to have a peace march, a youth peace march. We want the youth to lead it. You know what's happening in our community. They focuses on too many kids who cause trouble and not enough focus on the kids who want to lead. So this message is to you who want to lead. Come join us in a peace march on January 15th at Perry Square, where we'll gather together and march to the Martin Luther King Center. A youth peace march. Now, recently, some of us marched with the people who want a ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. We need peace not just in the streets of Erie, Pennsylvania. We need peace all across the world. Amen. So that we're going to make a statement in this city by the young people that you recognize and that you recognize. So that's the next big thing that the NAACP is doing here. So that's my Ujima, collective work and responsibility. That's your president's message in that, to help me keep building this organization so that we can fight harder and that we can turn the reins of this organization and the challenges that we face over to you young people in good hands. God bless you. Thank you for listening.